When it comes to single and married life in the UK, there are a whole lot of misconceptions about it. Today, I have with me a brother and a colleague to share with me with his thoughts on issues regarding this. If today is your first time of coming across my channel, my name is Nurse Albi, a registered nurse practicing in the UK. Hello, Papa Nurse, how are you?
Hello, I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Would you like to introduce yourself to my viewers?
Hello everyone. My name is Papa Nurse 13 TV. I'm sure a lot of you know me on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel, but I'm inactive at the moment. But yes, I'm also a nurse in the UK for some years now, and I'm happy to be here to share the little experience and knowledge we have. So thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so back to our topic for discussion tonight. So when it comes to some of the advantage of being single in the UK, what are your thoughts on it?
Advantages of being single, right? I mean, I think they are enormous. There are a lot, but because of time and for the purpose of our viewers not to, I can't say that. So one of them is, if you are single, you are free. You do everything you want. You can go anywhere you want without any restrictions, unlike someone who is married or has someone as a partner. So yeah, if you are single, you move around, you do everything you want. For work related advantages, I would say, as a single person, you're able to do as many shifts as you want, because like I said, there's no one waiting for you at home. There's no one calling you to come, so you can do so much work. Yeah, you associate freely, and then do things at your own pace as a single person. Because like I said, if you're married or if you have someone, you always have to do things putting in mind the person. But if you are single, you are on your own, so you do everything absolutely. You take your decisions, whether wrong or right is entirely up to you. So yeah, I'll say these are some of the advantages of being single in the UK.
Okay. Can you also discuss with us financial implications on being single and versus being married?
So it depends. So financial discipline actually depends on the person. You can be single and misuse your money. What I'm trying to say is this: as a single person, with my experience, you're able to save a lot when you are single, because it's just you, yourself, and your little bills. But whereas if you have someone or you're married, you are thinking about the other person, although they are working, but your money is not your money, it's for your family or whoever you are with. As a single person, you are solely responsible for your money. Like I said, you can misuse it or you can save as much as you can. And as a married person as well, it's also two ways. Some married people or couples are able to save so much because both of them are working. But on the other side, because of childbirth, childcare, especially when children start coming in, it becomes a whole different ball game, where you now have to kind of work out with your partner or your wife or your husband how to have to work while the other is looking after the kids, or one has to go somewhere. So all of you cannot, especially I'm talking about when kids come in. But again, I have friends who bought houses in the UK within 2 years because both of them are working and they had no children. So compared to a single person, it's just you go to your shift as much as you can. You can't do a lot. But imagining two people doing, say, even four or five shifts a week, they put their money together and they can do so much. So yeah, that's what I said. Financial discipline actually depends on the person. You can be single and broke. You can be married and broke. It depends on how you want to manage your finances. But I think as a single pair, in my experience, you're able to save a lot in this UK when you are single. But again, marriage is good. Or when you're married, as I said, two people. I mean, there's a popular saying that if one person can kill 1,000, two will kill 2,000 or more. So married people can equally save more. But the reason I'm saying that a single person stands a chance of saving higher is when kids come in. The children comes in, one person cannot work actively as before. or the both of you, because at every point in time, one has to be at home taking care of the kids. And the kids, they come with their own bills, and it is not easy. So yeah, a single person, but I said some people also, because they are single, they have no responsibility, they just misuse money. They are doing betting, they are drinking alcohol, they are partying, because to them life is all about what they get is what they spend, So again, I'll say that again, financial discipline depends on the person. But to me, if you are single in the UK and if you are listening to us, if you want to save or make a big huge, any big savings you want, is when you are single. Because when you get a partner or get married, you can save. But remember, when kids start coming in, you can't work as before, and you can't do most of the things you used to do when you were single. So yes, that's what I'll say on that.
So how is the societal perception differs from single individual to that of the couples in UK?
One of the challenge, especially with our background, when you are single, I said it, people think you have no responsibility. So they just come to you, oh, can you give me this money? Because to them, you are not married, you are single, you're not looking after it. You're not even thinking about your other responsibilities aside marriage. But they think as far as you are single, you have all the money and you have literally no responsibility whatsoever. When you're married as well, some of them think, oh, you are responsible. So the pressure of asking you money goes down. But again, some people also think, oh, if he's getting 1,000 and the wife is also getting 1,000, then they have 2,000. Or if the wife is getting 2,000, he is getting 2,000, they have 4,000. So some of them also tend to come and give you pressure because you are married, especially, and there's no case. Oh, what are they using their money for? That. So society's perception about married and single life, actually, I would say, depends on where you are coming from. But from someone from Ghana, and with what they think, a lot of pressure seems to come on you when you are single than when you are married. Because some of them are like, oh, now he's married, she's married, so he or she has family responsibilities. So they kind of hesitate in asking you for things. Whereas you are single, they just pick their phone call and they are asking you for money. If you genuinely don't have it, you mention to them, they might think, oh, what does he use his money for? He's always not having money. He's not married, he doesn't have kids, but they forget you have other responsibilities. So what society actually thinks about a single person or a married couple, actually, like I said, depends on where you're coming from. But yeah, that's a little I can say. From I'm saying all these things based on my experience when I was single versus married. Yeah, the pressure hasn't stopped anyway, but it was more massive or more when I was single than when I got married. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. In terms of mental health and well-being, how does it differ from being single and that of being married in the UK?
Again, I would say it's also subjective, but on average, because in the UK, so you often hear a lot of people say there's so much depression, loneliness. I mean, away from home, you feel homesick, you feel depressed, you feel lonely. If you have someone with you, so you come back from work and you have someone to talk to. You had a bad day at work, you come home and you have someone to even lean on their shoulder, cry on them. But whereas if you're single, you just come in, and if you're not careful, you might resort to. So I know friends who, when they are frustrated, they come home and they just drink alcohol and sleep, or smoke and sleep. But if they had someone they could just talk to, relieve them of the anxiety, their worries, their frustration. So I would say that it has, in your mental health wise, I would say a greater percentage of married people are kind of sorted with regards to loneliness, the depression, the anxiety, and all the frustration that comes with it. Because again, we've moved away from home, so you need someone to talk to. I mean, some you can call home, but sometimes they don't. It's the feeling is not the same. Talking on phone and there's someone with you in your room, you come sometimes just a 2 minute hug alone from your wife, your partner, your husband relieves you of whatever drama you had at work, and it brings so much relief to you. Whereas if you are single, as I said, you come in, you're frustrated, you don't even feel like eating. No one is. Yeah, you can speak to people on phone, you can do video calls now because of internet and phone, but it's never the same. So mental health wise, the probability of you getting depressed or insane in the UK is higher in single people than married people. And we shouldn't forget that some marriages actually tends to even kill people mentally than being single. So that's why I said earlier, it depends. But all things being equal, if you have someone with you, I think you stand a better chance of having a good mental fortitude than someone who is single. Because if you have any issue, there's at least someone you can cry on or lean on. Yeah, so that's what I'll say on that.
Okay, so when it comes to challenges, what are some of the challenges that single people do faces here in the UK that the married couples are free from?
I'm not sure if there's any, but I think maybe just what I said, that the fact that you haven't got a companion, not to promote any mischief or any other negative thing, but I know friends who they are registered on several dating sites, they go on pub, clubs, just to relieve themselves of everything I spoke about. So they also have their means of meeting all such needs. So I'm not very sure if there's anything that a single person is disadvantaged of compared to someone married. I would say that maybe in terms of, for instance, if you want to buy a house, I also bring it back to the financial gains. For instance, as a single person, maybe your annual income might not be able to afford you a house, or say you might be able to get some sort of house depending on your work and your earnings anyway. But compared to two people or married people, both of them, their pay slips or their annual income can actually get them something easy. Okay, let me put it like that. They will be easy. They can afford things easier than you, a single person. And the example I'm making is, if you want to buy a house, they need your earnings together with your partner or your wife, your husband. And then it's easy because it becomes the total of that is kind of heavier than as a single person. And again, especially if your income is nothing to write home about. So I think in terms of finances and the mental health we discussed, apart from that, I said, yeah, people also would prefer to stay single, enjoy their life as single people with no responsibility, with no drama. I said people are married and they wish they were single because what they went into is actually having a toll on them. So I'm not very sure, but yes, I think that's a little I can say if I'm right. Yeah.
Okay, so can you also discuss with us any cultural or religious factors that affect one to remain single or get married in the UK?
Yes. So as a Christian, I will say that so as a Christian, you want to stay away from all manner of sin, including fornication. So if I don't want to have anything to do with fornication, then I have to get married. If I want to stay single and still meet my sexual needs, it's a sin as a Christian. And most of the other religious groups, I think, I'm not sure, but as a Christian, I can speak for myself. So in order to bridge that gap, I would rather get married. I'm not saying marriage is an antidote to that. People still get married anyway, and vice versa. So yeah, but for the purpose of the discussion, yeah. But the other people as well think that they want to, as I said, they want to stay single for some time, and still do whatever they want to do. So yeah, I think that's what religion, I would say, plays a role, whether a person would want to stay single or would want to get married. But yeah, as I said, most of our religious people frowns on sins when it comes to, say, sex and things like that. So they rather get married or have someone officially or formally that they can have all those kind of things with. Yeah, I don't know if it answered your question. But
Yes, it does. Okay, what role do you think the government policy plays in single individuals or married couples in the UK?
Government policy. Government policy. What do you mean by government policy?
Let's say islands. Most people in the western parts of the world, like when it comes to single mothers, western part of the world carries it. So do you believe it's because of the government policy that is making them single, or you believe it's a natural thing?
Oh, yeah. I think, yes, people think like that. So I think I said it earlier on that people, so for instance, a single mother, if they present their cases to social services and they assess them to see that they can't leave their kids, so they need to stay with their kids and they still need to look after them. So they're able to get some funds to support people. I mean, most of our people intentionally um, would want to stay single to enjoy those benefits. But but one thing we should understand is having someone goes beyond all this. I mean, money is good; those benefits are good. But like we discussed earlier, sometimes when you have real issues or you're faced with challenges, you need someone to talk to, not on phone, but someone you can, confidently and freely speak to and open up to. So yeah, I think the government policy is like, but I'm not sure people will entirely do that because divorce, separation, um, has a bad effect on our mental health if we like it or not. So I'm not sure anyone who intentionally would want to stay single just because of benefits. But sometimes it happens and they have no option than to seek for this support because, as I said, if you're looking after your case, you can't go to work. You can't because you can't leave them and go to work. So you definitely need support with in terms of accommodation and other bills. So yeah, the policy might have an impact, but I'm convinced that majority of the time it's just circumstances and happenstance. But I'm not sure people intentionally go that way. Of course, we are human beings, so people might want to do that, but on the larger front, I think it's just circumstances and yeah.
Okay, so from your perspective, which lifestyle do you believe is more fulfilling?
Lifestyle as in what, married person?
Or couple? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll choose marriage because as I said, if you're single, there are so I mean, and you want to have kids, you want to see your children grow to be you want to have a family around. I have my wife, I have my son. When I come back to work and I see my son, I'm happy. I see my wife, sometimes she feels bad, but the sight of my son alone makes me so happy. And the family, I said, I'm coming to home, I know I like food, so food is ready. Whereas as a single person, I'm coming, I'm thinking, what am I going to, and I don't even know how to cook anyway. So I have to buy, all these junk foods. But now I'm coming home and I know I have someone who is thinking about me. Food is ready, that kind of thing. The hug alone to welcome you at home. So my personal point of view, getting married is fulfilling. But again, as I said, this is my experience. Some people are fulfilled being single, and they love to stay single because some marriages will actually show you shaggy, if it's the right word to use. But yeah, yes, I think as I keep saying, that all things being equal, having someone is beautiful, having a family is lovely. You feel fulfilled, and that's the essence of our creation. If anyone is a Christian and wants to see why God created us, he says, keep on, fill the earth. So yeah, it's good to have a family, people around to call your own. You talk to, I mean, sometimes we don't want to face the fact, but if you speak to a whole lot of, I mean, my friends tell me, hey, you've changed since you got married. Your outward appearance, there's this glory and a kind, if you're a lady, there's a whole beauty and a kind of that wraps over you. I'm not saying you can't be like that when you're single, but in all sincerity, a lot of single people wish they were married, unless the unfortunate instances come in. But yeah, if I would choose, yes, marriage life is much fulfilling than staying single. Yeah.
Okay, so what will be your last words to my cherished viewers?
I would say that there's no pressure at all. If you are single, there's no pressure. Don't say that, because of the things Papa Nancy say, I'm going to get married. No, marriage is for men or women. You need to be ready, you need to be matured. I mean, if you're happy being single, yes, enjoy your single life. Because you can only enjoy your single life you need to enjoy your singleness so much that when you want to get married, you're ready to get married. Because some people go into marriage and they're still looking back because they couldn't really enjoy when they were single. So I'll say that, yeah, let no one pressure you. In our society, there's so much pressure on you getting married, you are aging. No, everyone has their own personal development goals. So you want to see yourself, I want to accomplish this, I want to do this, I want to do that. Let nothing pressurize you. Do you, be you, go your own way. When you feel you are ready to go into marriage, why not? I mean, it's not everyone that will marry anyway. The advice is to get married, like I said, especially somewhere like UK, where it's just work home. And sometimes even at the workplace, there's so much toxicity, there's so much going on that you need someone to truly cry or pour your heart on. And it can only be this: a boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your partner, something like that. But yeah, if you want to stay single, it's also, I mean, that's what I'm saying, it's entirely up to you. No one can force you, or we can't force you to do what you want to do. But then it's just a suggestion that, yeah, enjoy your single life as much as you can by trying someday get married, because you will enjoy that side as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your opinion with us, and my viewers and myself. We are so grateful. Have a lovely day. See you.
Thank you. See you. Bye.